Hey guys, feeling kind of like shit today. I think it's probably because my cycle's getting ready to start next week. Probably it starts around the 5th. It started early last month on the 1st when I was due to get my injection. So, of course, I get my injection in my butt, like in my hip, right above my butt cheek. And, like, I always feel bad because I always have to give me my injection when I'm on my cycle. And I feel bad that I have to pull my pants down just because of the blood smell. So, like, that always ends up occurring together. But it started early, and so it was like a mess. And I just felt bad because usually it's like on the tail end of my cycle, so it's not as much of a blood smell. But it was like right at the start of all the heavy bleeding. And so I don't know when it's going to start. As far as like, I just got my injection last week, so it was off timing of it, so I wasn't on my cycle. But like, my energy's down, and like, Ian wants to come over this afternoon. And even though I'm like, my cycle's not started, I'm having the pre-symptoms of my cycle. So like, my energy's low. I'm like low grade depressed, and the depression's going to get worse over the next week, because like, that is one of the biggest symptoms of my cycle, is having really bad depression for like a week and a half, 2 weeks leading up to my period. So like, half of every month I'm always like super depressed, and it sucks. And like, it's creeping around the bend, and I can kind of feel it coming on when I'm moody for no sad moody, or not like grouchy moody, but like sad moody for no apparent reason. And then I'm like, oh, it's my cycle's creeping up. So I'm just dealing with that today. I just feel out of sorts. Don't feel like myself. Plus, it's all gray and gloomy today. Like, it was, we had a thunderstorm last night, but it lasted for like 10 minutes, and then it just went away. I don't know if it stormed overnight and I wasn't aware of it, if it came back through, but it had all the startings to be a really big thunderstorm, and then it just died out. Like, it never actually formed. So I don't know what happened overnight while I was asleep. But it's dark today and gloomy, and with all the lights on in the house. I have the overhead light on and both lamps. It's still dark in the apartment, and it's not helping my mood at all. I'm just not in a good headspace, and I'm like, oh my god. Plus, my weight is playing games on me, because I know what it is. Like I said, I reintroduced sugar into my diet over this last like 3 weeks, coming up on a month. I've been drinking light brown sugar in my coffee, and I've been using quite a lot of it, because I thought, actually discovered that you don't need quite as much as I was using. I was just dumping a shit ton of it in the coffee cup, thinking that I needed more of it, because it was light brown sugar. It wasn't full sugar, so it was not like brown sugar. It was light brown sugar, and I thought I was going to need a lot of it to get flavor out of it. But I put 3 like kitchen spoons. You know how kitchen spoons are a little bit bigger than tablespoons. And I put 3 spoons of that, like I used to drink my coffee, today, instead of just dumping a fuck ton of sugar in the coffee cup. And it tasted even better than all that sugar in the drink. And it was still quite sweet. So I think I can make do with either 1 or 2 spoons of it and cut back on it. And I normally drink my coffee black. And if I have 1 cup of coffee with sugar in it, the second cup of coffee will be black. So I'm drinking a black cup of coffee right now. But the only reason there's sugar in the house at all is because Myron came over yesterday, and I knew he was going to want some coffee. So we walked down to the Dollar General. We got some food. I got some groceries. And we got some sugar and creamer so he could have some coffee. But he forgot to take the sugar and creamer home with him yesterday. So now there's sugar in the house, which I don't like to have in the house. But I have like 2 really, really big containers of oatmeal. And I said I could eat that, since I'm a little short on groceries between now and the 1st. I could use some of the sugar in the oatmeal, because I don't like just eating plain oatmeal. I think it's absolutely disgusting. So I said I could lightly sugar up the oatmeal and have that as a meal by itself, rather than just throwing away a whole brand new bag of sugar. But I might just throw it away and eat the groceries I bought rather than eat the oatmeal, because I like the oatmeal in my fruit smoothies. Just plain oatmeal in the fruit smoothies, rather than eating oatmeal as a meal itself. Or I like to put oatmeal in my eggs, as a bulker. just to have some fiber in the eggs in the morning when I make scrambled eggs. You can't taste it, so it's not like in the way. It doesn't make it taste weird or anything like that. But my weight is being kind of tricky. I lost since cutting the sugar out over the last 2-3 days. I've dropped from 192 down to 190, so it's going back in the reverse, but it's going slowly. Like I said, I went from 184 to 190 in the span of like 4 or 5 days. So I know it's not like fat gain, it's just water retention from all the sugar and inflammation from working out and all that stuff. But it's still disheartening because it still shows on your body as a bigger body when you're bloated like that. So I'm just looking at a bigger reflection in the mirror, and while I still don't look huge, like I just don't like looking bigger, because when I take my measurements with my measuring tape, like my stomach right now is at 38 inches. It was 41 inches 3 days ago. So we've shed off 3 inches since cutting the sugar back out. And when I suck it in, it goes down another inch to an inch and a half. And even looking visually in the mirror, just like from where I am right now to sucking it in, even that little inch difference makes me look a lot more normal. And I'm like, it's funny because when I'm at that weight, like when I'm at 37 inches, just normally, it still looks too big. But when I'm bigger and suck it in and I look at that weight, I'm like, that looks perfectly fine. So it's funny how you never think you look fine when you're at a lower weight. And then when you're at that lower weight and you suck it in, you're like, that's where I need to be. And when you get to that weight, you still think you're too big. And you suck it in and you're like, that's where I need to be. So I'm like noticing that no matter how much smaller I look, I always think I need to get smaller. So even when I was 179 pounds, and even now, looking at the pictures of me at 179 pounds, I'm like, I need to be a little bit smaller. So I'm wondering if there's actually a weight I'm going to ever get to that I think is small enough. Because when I was 160, when I was in jail for my NGRI charge, I caught my reflection in the shower one day before I had gotten undressed. And I was like, that is the perfect weight on your body. And it was the first time I had ever seen it that way, because I had been walking around feeling like I was too big, because I had previously been 150 pounds. And I thought that looked perfectly healthy on me, and I thought that was like a perfect weight on me. But when I was 150, I thought I was still too big. So like, and when I was 130, I thought I was too big. So, it's kind of like, I'm not sure there's a weight that will be acceptable to me visually with body dysmorphia, because when I was 115, I became anorexic because I thought I was too big. So, like, I'm not sure I'll ever be properly satisfied with what I see in the mirror. And I'm not sure if maybe a body recomposition might not help, like to get abs and stuff like that, so that my stomach's not a soft stomach. Because when I was 115, I wasn't soft like skinny fat or anything like that. I was very tiny. But when you have the womb curvature, like, it can look like fat no matter what you do. It's just that little soft underbelly that most women have, because for your womb, that doesn't go away unless you put abs there. So I'm wondering if maybe seeing my body in a different shape might not trigger something for me, or if I might end up with some sort of what is it? I forget the word that it's like people who work out a whole lot wind up with a different type of disorder where they can't see how big their muscles are and they think that they're smaller than they really are. Orthorexia? No, I think that's like a workout obsession or some shit. That might be what I'm talking about, but there's a high potential with body dysmorphia for me to end up swinging the total polar opposite way. So I'm not sure there's any real way out of it other than for me to focus on like what my body does for me and loving my body the way it is and just focusing on positive feedback for myself and not focusing on how I look at all, because that and logically knowing like between what I'm doing and like what my measurements are reading and what logically I know I'm at as far as on the scale versus measurements versus muscle mass and stuff like that, because I may never actually see it. Like I might see myself with abs one day and logically know that they're there, but it may still translate to looking like fat rather than defined muscles to my mind. So I'm curious if not recompositioning my body and getting muscle growth might not trigger something in me so that my stomach doesn't look soft. It looks like abs rather than just soft flesh. Because if I'm 115, I'm 130, I'm 150, I'm 160, I'm 179, and no matter what weight I get at, all of it looks fairly okay. Like starting at 179 and anything beneath it looks okay on me. It looks decent. It looks good. Especially anything 160 and under looks really good on me. Anything 160 looks slim thick. It looks like the perfect milkshake body on me at my height and with my curves being the size that they are. I look really good at 160. But 150 looks like the perfect definition of health on my body. It's not slim thick, it's just healthy. 160 is slim thick. 140 is petite, and 130 is super petite. 115 would look sickly at this weight, and anything less than that would be bordering on anorexia. So it's 160 for me is my goal. 179 is okay. I have a tiny bit of a gut, but it's not anything like where I'm bordering right now at 190. It's more of an obvious stomach is chubby right now. It's where I am. So it's just one of those things that even an inch off my stomach right now looks acceptable. Like it doesn't look bad, but I still wouldn't be 179. So it's just a mind trick that my body does with body dysmorphia, where I can clearly see if I stand in the mirror right now, suck my gut in, and it's only an inch and a half less than where I am, and it doesn't look as round and it's sticking out, and it looks flush with the rest of my body. I'm like, you were there a week ago. Why did you think you were so big a week ago? And I can't notice it until I'm past it looking backwards. So I know when I lose this inch in the next week and a half, I'm still going to think I'm too big, even though I've seen it yesterday. Like it's not, I'm not going to be happy with any weight that I get at is what I'm realizing. So other than potentially 160 again, because that's been the drop, that's the only time I've ever seen my body and actually been happy with it, and 150. Both of those weights I've actually caught myself in the mirror and actually seen it look healthy on me. So 150 or 160 is the ultimate goal at this point. 130 is like a wishful weight. Like I would like to be small and petite at that weight again, but seeing as how difficult it is for my body to let go of weight with diet and exercise, I'm not sure I can actually achieve that in any realistic time frame. So I'm content to just get down to 160 and just stay there because I really like that weight on my body anyways. So if I can just get down to 160, which is 30 pounds less than my very weight at this exact second, which I lost 30 pounds last year, so I know I can do it again. I just have to really stick to my guns and count my calories this time around. Now that I know I've been eating a little too much, even though it was healthy food, it was still too much of it. So I'm working on that. I've been doing that for the last 3 days, counting my calories. I went over on one day, and today is a new day, so I'm starting over counting my calories today. So I will keep you updated, let you know how all that goes, and see how well the weight loss goes this time. So love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.